Hey y'all, it is me, Sister Renee, aka the Bougie Black Blogger, and you guys, I literally just wrapped up my first season of my Living Stories podcast season, right? The first season. And you have no idea how excited I am. One, because it's over, and two, like, I did it. I completed a whole project, right? But there are so many fails. There are so many like eye-opening, epiphany type moments where I'm just like, yo, I need to share because I want you to learn from me so you can be 100 times better the first go around. So let's get started. Have not listened to the podcast, then you are missing out, because you guys, first of all, I had the honor, I had the privilege, I had just an amazing time interviewing 14 phenomenal Black women who are mothers, who are entrepreneurs, who are doing the damn thing and doing it phenomenally, right? With excellence. And they gave me so many nuggets, so many tips, and not just me, because if you're listening, you're getting it too. So don't even trip. It's not just for me, it's for you too. So make sure you head over there and start listening. But anyways, I had 14 episodes of Living Stories. So like just telling your story. You're alive, you have breath in your body. So make sure it's heard, right? That's what my idea was for the story. I will tell you, it started off with this young lady, Kendra, and she was on Lifetime, and she reached out and was like, yo, I want to tell my story. I want to tell my story from my perspective, because what was portrayed on her reality show was not her lived experience. And with that being said, I'm all about, not being censored, right? I want people to share their truth, right? And own it and not feel like they can't say it. And, putting it out into the world where people, can hear it and be inspired by it. Like, there's so much censorship going on. There's so much erasure happening in the Black community. They don't want to know about our successes. They only want to hear about our trauma, our horrible experience. They just want to know about that and not the triumph that comes out of it. Because why? Because that inspires us and empowers us to do more. And I'm just like, yo. But anyway, so that's a whole nother video. So with her initial, email, I was just like, dude, this needs to be bigger than just one story. I need to have more. And I posted on my Facebook, and I was just like, I need 5 women to interview for a podcast series. And I had 14 people, well, 13. I had a lot more, but only 13 people completed the whole process of bio and photos and just whatever I needed to get done, and in a short period of time too. So that went from 1 to 5 to 14 shows. I interviewed one girl twice, so that's some good stuff there. So you guys, I have this podcast for I think about 2 years now, so this is year 2. And so with my podcast, I've been just randomly. So in the beginning, I was spewing out, episodes, and not really being consistent once it hit that, what do I talk about, right? And so, but people would still, reach out, and I'm just like, okay, I guess I got to keep going, right? But I never had a plan, and I would just randomly talk about stuff, about living your best life. It's still good stuff, but it was there was no purpose, right? There was a purpose, but there wasn't an end goal. It's just me putting stuff out there, just why, right? And so one of the lessons that I learned was through Kira. She is the second or the third episode, and she was like, what do you want? What's the end goal? What do you want people to get out of this, right? So first it was okay, one show. Then it turned into multiple shows. Then she's like, well, what's your purpose? What do you want? And I'm like, oh, shoot, I didn't think about that. So then I was like, okay, maybe I can give, a worksheet, right? And I was just trying to come up with ideas. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do a worksheet every episode. And then there's going to be this huge workbook at the end so people can write and share their stories and do the whole, journaling and reflection process about being inspired, which sounds amazing. And it's still in the works. However, so the first lesson is, I had no idea where I was going. I was just doing stuff just to be doing it. So my first lesson and tip for y'all is to plan. Do a plan before jumping in, doing all this stuff, right? Number 2, my second tip is don't overextend yourself. Do not, promise all this stuff and not, deliver, right? So I stopped doing the worksheets after about 8. So I have about 8 free worksheets out there, but then I was just like, this is exhausting because I had to edit, listen to the podcast, edit them, then come up with content. And then I was just like, oh my God, that's so much work. And it is just me. And I was doing a whole bunch of other things. So lesson 1, plan. 2, don't overpromise and underdeliver, right? Think about what you can do in the time that you have. And it doesn't have to be profound. 3, well, I guess this would be 2, and then, yeah. But anyways, 3, have a purpose of, what is the end goal? What tangible thing can you get from this? Do you want people to come and subscribe to your website? Do you want people to buy something? Do you want people to, get your course or whatever it may be? When you have a podcast, sure, you want to do entertainment, but what are you providing? If you're a comedian, if you want to do a podcast on your comedy show or whatever, then you want people to go and buy tickets or download your CD album. I don't know what it may be, but have something, an end goal. What do you want people to do? Maybe my 4th tip with the plan, come up with a theme, because me coming up with that theme, that living stories, and building it out was so much easier than just randomly putting out content, right? So I created this whole document, this working, living document where the people had access to it. So they had access to putting their information in there, their bios, their links, questions they had. It was just a huge document, but I created a show notes, and I'm like, yo, this episode is going to be titled this. Just having that theme allow for your questions to align with that person, because you don't want to just ask random questions that don't relate to them. And so one of the things that I ask people to do is send me your bio, send me what you're working on, and then also, what do you want to talk about, right? So I don't want to force anything on somebody, but I want to build a show around them. So that would be my 5th tip. Build a show around your guest, right? But it has to fit in with your theme, right? But yes, I just wanted to say, it was chaos. And so I underdelivered, right? I didn't have a plan. I was doing things randomly, then overextending myself, right? And I was stressed, and it became work. And I was like, this is not what I signed up for. So, the last few episodes, all late. And I had promised every Sunday at 7 a.m. and then da-da-da-da-da and that. And I'm like, now I feel bad because I'm burnt out, and you don't want to burn out, right? You don't want to do that. So making sure that you have, your plan and your end goal is definitely going to help you. But I have some more tips on the blog and more of a more detailed experience, right? So make sure you head over there. Let me know your thoughts. I want to get back into doing more blogs or not blogs, but YouTube videos on content and stuff like that. So consistency. I'm not going to overpromise anything, because when I do, I never show up for some reason, because I like to do so much. I'm a creative, and I always want to create, and then I want to create something new all the time. And so I don't like being in a box. So if I put myself in a box, that's not good either. Anyways, make sure you subscribe. More content coming. Hit up the blog, listen to the podcast, share the stories, y'all. They're not out here just to talk to me and you. They want to talk to everybody, right? And we want to support. So yes, peace and blessings.